How's it going, guys? In this lesson I'm going to show you a great way to get a kind of muted ghost note sound out of your bass. First of all, if you're unsure about what this is, a ghost note, really simply put, is a kind of a dead note. So this is a note that we pluck, but we don't really get the ringing sound of an actual note. Just to clarify what I mean, that ringing sound would be when you play a note and it sustains for some amount of time. It might be a short amount of time, or it might be a long amount of time, but in both cases you can very clearly hear a pitched note. A ghost note, or a dead note sometimes as they're called, is the opposite of that, where you pluck, but because the string is muted, you don't really hear the note. You hear this kind of stuff happen an awful lot in sort of soul and funk music. Just to name a couple of prominent players, people like Rocco Prestia from Tower of Power will use this Lowe's, or Stuart Zender from Jamiroquai. You would have heard a lot of this kind of stuff happening. I'm going to explain one quick way of doing this. There are quite a few, but I'll just give you one for the moment. Basically, this all comes from my fretting hand. As I go to play a note, I'm just resting my fingers on top of the strings rather than actually pushing them down into the neck. This means because they're in contact with the strings will be muted and give me that dead note effect. But because I'm not actually pressing them down into the neck, I won't get a note either. Personally, I think it's most effective if you lay all your fingers across the strings. However, sometimes you may not be able to do that, so you can achieve the same effect with one finger or with a few fingers. So you notice here, if I'm just laying one finger across, I can easily fret notes or play that dead note sound. One thing you do have to be careful of is where you actually rest your finger, because you'll notice if I rest my finger above the 7th fret, I actually get a note, even though I'm not pressing the string into the neck, so I get the harmonic there. That's why I think if you can rest a few more fingers, sometimes it's a little bit more effective. So if you're new to this, a good exercise to develop this is simply pick one note and stay on it. So I'm going to pick the 6th fret of the A string and just practice doing 16th notes or 8th notes or whatever subdivision you're happy with, and just switch between 4 notes and 4 dead notes or 4 ghost notes. So 1, 2, 3, 4, ghost, 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 2, 3, 4. So I would just try and build it up that way. Of course, as with any technical exercise, it's a really good idea to try and spread this movement around the bass. So get comfortable doing it with your hand in all the different positions around the neck, on all the different strings of the bass. Thanks very much for watching again. If you've enjoyed the video, make sure you subscribe to the channel. If you've got a question about this, leave a comment and I'll get back to you. Make sure you like the video, and I'll see you on the next lesson. Take care.